Proposition 23. Suspend greenhouse gas emissions and global warming laws. This proposition suspends recent greenhouse gas emissions laws. To save time and frustration and confusion, I'm going to really paraphrase this and say that right now, California is supposed to have a primary focus of reducing our greenhouse gas emissions to where they were in 1990 by the year 2020. This is the focus of Bill AB 32 that was passed a little while ago. And I remember back in 1990 as a 6-year-old, desperately wishing that California would do something about all these greenhouse gas emissions. And finally, we got Bill AB 32. But Prop 23 aims to suspend Bill AB 32 until California's unemployment drops to 5.5% for at least a year. The people supporting Prop 23 that want to suspend Bill AB 32 are doing so because they say that though climate change is a serious issue, this isn't the time for such a costly environmental legislation, especially being that the California Air Resource Board acknowledges that the environmental bill we're talking about, AB 32, cannot actually change the course of climate change. The implementation of AB 32 will likely cost taxpayers and consumers billions of dollars and destroy over 1 million jobs. If we don't pass Prop 23, Bill AB 32 will likely cost each California household an extra $3,800 a year in increased electricity and gas prices. They note that other countries that passed similar global warming laws experienced a loss of 2 blue-collar jobs for every 1 green job that the law created. By passing Prop 23, we can save over 1 million California jobs. Finally, they note that Prop 23 doesn't weaken or repeal the hundreds of other California laws that protect the environment, reduce air pollution, keep our water clean, and protect public health. It simply applies to a greenhouse gas emissions bill, AB 32, which CARB concedes has no direct impact on public health. The people opposing Prop 23 that want to keep Bill AB 32 in place do so because they claim it would kill vitally needed clean energy and pollution standards, and it would kill competition from California's wind, solar, and alternative fuel companies, and it would jeopardize nearly 5 million California jobs in the clean energy field and result in higher energy costs for consumers. They say Prop 23 wouldn't be in place for as short a time as it seems, but really it would repeal clean energy and air pollution standards indefinitely. And it would allow polluters to avoid the laws that require them to reduce harmful greenhouse gases and air pollution. They claim that it is a serious threat to public health. It would result in more air pollution that would lead to more asthma and more lung disease. And not just more asthma and lung disease for everyone, but especially in children and seniors, they add. Oh dear. Then they say that this proposition is funded by big Texas oil companies Valero and Tesoro, who are among the worst polluters in California. They say Prop 23 could keep us addicted to costly oil, which is a national security issue, and would jeopardize more than $10 billion in private investments in California. Okay, look, we all love the environment, but we have to be reasonable here. These green laws are partly green because they will reduce pollution to an extent, but the real reason they are green laws is because of the billions and billions of green dollars that they will drain from our pockets in the middle of this steep recession. As the writers of Prop 23 stated, this law does not touch hundreds of strict laws that California already has. It simply delays these hyper-aggressive and experimental policies that we can't afford right now. Especially cap and trade, which if you don't know, is one of the most crooked, deceptive schemes in politics today. These green laws have been known to halt many businesses, cost enormous amounts of money, and leave thousands of people laid off, all for very minimal gains in the green dream. Again, the law that Prop 23 repeals has already been declared to have a neutral effect on climate change. I strongly recommend that you save your family $3,800 a year and vote yes on Prop 23. Now, I know if Al Gore could hear me, he'd probably race out of his $9 million mansion and zip right down here in his private jet to tell me to shut up and conserve, but I don't care. I do believe that voting yes on Prop 23 is the right thing to do. This is another bill where you can't let the general principle cloud your judgment. You have to look at implementation. They make it sound like if this bill isn't passed in California, then the ozone layer will open up and 10 million angry sun rays will scorch the icebergs of the Arctic and flood the world. But many of these green bills are not what they're cracked up to be. You can read a lot online about how much these green bills really cost at the end of the day and how little, if anything at all, many of them actually accomplish. Please understand that a yes on Prop 23 isn't a no against preserving the environment. It's a no against this poor, ineffective, and costly method of trying to improve the environment. Yes on Proposition 23.